Loose Cannons Podcast, episode 13. We are back in the studio.
We back.
No Justin, no Peace here.
And I'm Lou Rivers.
And we are the Loose Cannons. If this is your first time watching the show, if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Like, share, subscribe.
That's right. And if you're on IGTV, make sure you follow us.
Instagram, Facebook, what else? What we got?
Twitter. At Cannons Podcast.
Yes.
And listen, if you're on SoundCloud and you're back listening to us on iTunes or any other podcast platforms, welcome and welcome back, friends and family, to the Loose Cannons Podcast.
Episode 13.
That's it. All right, we got a great episode.
Yes, we do.
We got a great show.
What are we talking about today?
There's a lot of things going on. Main event.
Yes.
John Wick 3.
Ooh, the trilogy?
The trilogy.
I like it.
They didn't end it.
Nah.
But we got the trilogy.
Yes, we do.
Very exciting movie.
Yes.
Okay, but that's later in the event. So let's start our week off with this week in social media.
Ooh, yes.
Listen, a lot went on this week in social media. We hit on this before.
Yes.
Jesse Smollett.
Yes.
The Shade Room. You sent it to me. Can you pull it up?
Yeah, I got you. Here we go.
So basically, Jesse Smollett situation, everybody, him out in Chicago, and people thought that he faked a hate crime. He supposedly faked a hate crime against himself, hired these two Nigerian brothers. One was his trainer, and the police were sure that it was Jesse Smollett.
Right.
Then a crazy turn of events, the DA decided to drop all charges, seal the case.
Yep.
I didn't even know it. Apparently, the documents are out. They reopened the case, and apparently, according to the Shade Room, the documents are damning. Are damning to Chicago Police Department.
Yes.
All right, so according to the Shade Room, I'm gonna read it. Apparently, there was a neighbor who said he saw the white man around 12:30. All right, so backtracking. Jesse Smollett said that he thought that the people who attacked him were white.
Yes.
So now they're saying that there was a neighbor who saw a white man. So there was a witness.
Right.
We never heard about this when the police were doing all this stuff. When they were saying all this stuff. Taking things a step further, there were reports alleged Jesse's wounds were self-inflicted. The doorman. So the doorman saw him and Jesse gave him the same exact story that he gave to the courts. What do we think about this?
Well, I think that the article basically talks about how police inaccuracies and the lack of following up and I guess building around actual witnesses. So I guess it's kind of showing that there could be more play here by someone else involved rather than Jesse Smollett. So, but I mean, I guess this was the whole thing about one. I guess who was it? The FBI who had gone over the case before, went to the DA, or I guess before the DA closed it and talked about the inaccuracies of the police department.
Yep.
And I guess these are articles showing that it is true. Police and the police union going against. Going against the DA and, well, I guess was it the DA or was it the state's
attorney?
Right, state's attorney. So, I don't know, but I guess now we're getting more information. And I mean, all the people who still believe Jesse Smollett is lying, I guess.
I think the community owes him an apology.
For the longest time now.
I think they owe him an apology, and they need to just humble themselves and say, you know what, this wasn't as cut and dry as they wanted us to believe.
Yeah.
A lot of people were duped. Fine. And just stand up in your dupeness.
Yeah.
Say, you know what? I got tricked.
I told you this is one of my reasons why I don't like canceling people. Because now you got to kind of uncancel.
Yes, that's true.
Now I want to start canceling people who are canceling someone, you know.
That's true.
I'm done with y'all.
Everybody got to get canceled.
Quick to jump. You know?
Listen. Free Jesse Smollett.
Yes.
Free his name.
Free my brother Jesse Smollett.
Clear his name. Clear his name. Even though there's not going to be a show for him. He's not on this season.
Right.
Because I think they got one more season, and that's like next year. I don't think he's on any of that season. Well, maybe they'll write him back in after this situation.
What did they basically do? I mean, I kind of caught up, but I mean, they basically just married him off like, oh, he went on his honeymoon and
I don't know. I stopped watching. My wife's been watching.
Don't worry, it's trash.
Okay.
It's trash. You're not missing anything.
Well, you know what? I think I might watch the last season because, you know, like, if
the big guns.
Yeah, they just gonna be killing everybody.
Lucius.
A lot of people going to jail.
He gonna be like, nah, man, you can't do this way, man.
That's right. That's right. So that's why it's a little exciting. But Yeah, so that show, and Lee Daniels no longer has Star. Did you see that on Instagram?
No.
Star is gone.
Okay.
So 2 shows down for him. But who's really having a bad situation is Steve Harvey.
Yo.
Our old brother Steve Harvey.
Yes.
I mean, he's made a lot of money, but he has no more jobs.
Hey, yo, this is news to me.
No more jobs for
None?
Steve Harvey.
So he really got canceled, huh?
Steve Harvey's show is being replaced in that slot, but he's not getting another slot. But it's being replaced by the Kelly Clarkson new show.
Really?
That's supposed to be
Kelly Clarkson got a show?
Kelly Clarkson got a show, and they're putting a lot of money behind it.
Okay.
They love Kelly.
Really?
I mean, because you know she got that big fan base from American Idol, her fan base, and then The Voice. Well, not the, is it The Voice?
No.
Will they turn around?
Yeah. Oh wait, is that The Voice?
The one with Adam Levine. Yeah.
Adam Levine is leaving though.
He is?
Yeah. He just. I guess you get this show this week was his last show.
Wow.
Him and NBC have been
at odds.
Yeah. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah, but they need him.
Yeah.
Well, they need him and Blake.
Yeah.
If you lose Adam Levine and Blake, then
It's a done deal.
It's a done deal.
Yeah. Who else you gonna replace? You know.
That's because they only replaced the middle. They needed those bookends.
Yeah.
It's a bad show. Anyway, I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, I don't watch any of them.
American Idol's been bad too.
Yeah.
I pop in and out.
This is the last season of American Idol, right?
It should be.
I mean, it should have ended.
Ellen had on the winner, and he was like a fake Bruno Mars. I feel like they tried to find something like a Bruno, and it just didn't work. No. Just I'm not buying it.
They're just following trends instead of leading them now.
Yeah, it's not hitting up. The best show on is Diddy Show.
Oh yeah.
You never watched that with Khaled? It's The Four. It's called The Four. Yeah. They start basically at the finals. So you don't see any of the hoopla. You start with The Four, and then those people get challenged. So every time somebody comes on, if the audience thinks they're good, if the people on top think they're good, if they choose them, then they can challenge one of the four, and then the audience chooses out of the two, and then they take their seat.
Are you not entertained?
It's very good. Okay. It's very good. Him and Khaled very good.
You know they have that new songwriter show that's coming.
Yeah, Songland. I haven't watched it yet.
Do they? They're just gonna start making hits. Like, is that the idea?
That's the idea. Is they make a hit and one of the celebrities chooses the hit and they're gonna sing it.
No, I'm perfectly fine. I'm good.
That
I'm tired of these.
I'm gonna watch it. I ain't even gonna lie. They got me. They got me.
Nah, man, don't do it.
They
don't
got
do
Megan
it
Trainor. They got John Legend.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
What else? Okay, back to Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey.
Sorry.
No jobs.
Send him home.
Family Feud.
I'm good.
I heard is over for him also.
Good. I'm glad.
So the Steve show is over. Family Feud and Little Big Shots. Little Big Shots is going to Melissa McCartney.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I do like her a lot.
She's got a new movie coming out.
Ooh.
It's called The Kitchen.
Gotcha.
It's just completely random, and I'm gonna keep on interjecting because I don't care for Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
But The Kitchen is.
I like Melissa McCarthy.
Listen to this cast so you can tell me.
Yeah.
It's Melissa McCarthy. Tiffany Haddish.
I'm in it. Stop.
That's it.
I brought it already.
Common.
Take my money. Take it.
And wait, and it's not a comedy.
No, what?
It's not a comedy.
Okay,
you gotta go watch the preview. It's that good. Go check out The Kitchen for anybody who's out there on YouTube.
Speaking of Common is really not respected as much as he should because his performance in John Wick 2 was stellar.
Yo, thank you. Yes.
Stellar.
He was good in that.
It's a great action performance.
Yeah, I mean, he just went down a whole land. He did the one with Liam Neeson. We're gonna call it Taken 1.5. It was there's something to Tombstones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
Common's good.
Yeah, Common's good.
He's good now.
He's built up a platform. The Shy.
I haven't been watching.
Oh man, it's good.
Oh,
but the dude got kicked off.
Wait, okay, so I don't even know why.
We talked about
this paper
today.
Who did this paper?
I mean, it was where's the intern? Who did?
Man, we need an intern or a producer. So, okay,
we gonna talk about everything.
What the fuck happened to Jason Mitchell?
Yo, Jason Mitchell is out here like I could get all these chicks.
Did you see the video? Did you see the video?
No, there's a video. I knew there was one.
There's a video of him. Oh wait, so we talk. First of all, I don't even know about him going after the women. I didn't get to watch the Breakfast Club. Lena Waithe calls in about the situation, but what I seen was
what
the
have I
video.
been missing?
Lena Waithe called in
Okay.
to the Breakfast Club to talk about Jason Mitchell and The Shy. I heard about the situation of him acting crazy on the set or whatever he's doing on the set. But there's a video of him wilding out on an aircraft. Somehow it was oversold, and he was told to get off. But they're in the middle of boarding, and they're giving his seat to someone else. Some weird stuff. It's weird. It's weird the way it's explained. So I don't know exactly what happened. But he's cursing and carrying on.
All right, so
he's like, yo, no, why can't I have my seat, miss? I need my seat, miss. No. And then people are getting up. He's like, I know you can't fight, so shut the fuck up. This is what he's telling to the other customers. Y'all, I paid my money, man. Well, it looked like, I don't want to judge it because it looked like something's going on. If it looks like it was like pent up emotion from other things, it could be the situations that going on the set, and it's just like he's just going the wrong way because it wasn't like he was trying to fight anybody,
right?
But he was just like real loud, aggressive, and cursing.
So because we know this type of industry, right? This is the whole thing.
Not good for him.
Well, it's a done deal. He's done. So the idea is, all right, if you're an actor,
BT movies.
If not even. If you're an actor, there's a certain level of, okay, you may have done something and you lose an acting gig, you will lose a movie, you will lose a TV show. Yeah. But this is along the lines of it's so bad his agency dropped him.
No, they did.
Yes,
that was WME, right?
Yeah. So that's
a big one.
So the agency dropped him. Besides him losing all of his jobs.
Oh Lord.
So when an agency drops you, it's because if the agency thinks that they can make money off of you, they'll keep you. It doesn't matter how. Keep you. Right. It's we're gonna make something because the more we have on our roster, the more talent we have on our roster, the better. For your agency to drop you, that means that the chances are you was already done. You know, if they see no salvation.
And I can't. I mean, you can have a tirade. Listen. If it has something to do with, so you're saying like on the set, it was like some sexual harassment stuff?
So yeah, so his girlfriend on The Shy, that was the first problem. Second issue, and she's been saying this since the first season, so that's why I guess they've downplayed the relationship a little bit this season. And supposedly they reached out to her and told her that she wouldn't have to work with him anymore. And that was where it first started. Okay. And then whatever movie he was doing right after The Shy filmed, dropped him. Get out of here. And I don't know what he had besides that, but anything that was in the works is done. Yeah. And then the agency dropped him.
You can't do any sexual harassment stuff in this day and age. It's lava.
I don't care how it's a work environment, regardless. And I mean, at the end of the day, you have to be professional. This is basically.
You can't just wait. Yeah. Like you be a creep in the club. Yeah. Like you don't have to be a creep at work.
You're on TV. I mean, like you're a recognizable. Person. Like, why would you?
And his trajectory was going to be really strong because he did great. Mudbound. Mudbound was great. Like he had these.
He's laying the foundation, right?
Yes, exactly. That you could say, "Ooh, okay, Jason Mitchell is that name, that person that we're looking for."
We need more quality black actors out there, and now that the show was basically making him a strong focal point, I don't even know if they survived without him. I don't think so. That's kind of how I'm looking at it right now. Like, what are you going to do?
What's the identity of the show?
Because the entire show is based on the fact that his brother was killed. Yes. Like, and I don't know where you go from there.
They got to wire the situation.
The mother already left. Yeah. So it's like, all right. But, I mean, that's the industry right now, right?
They got to flip it. They got to wire the situation. They got to do a whole reset.
Don't worry, I heard Empire hired him. I'm kidding.
He's on Star.
He's on... all right, so I'm sorry, but back to Steve Harvey. I
think that's it. No more jobs, Steve.
All right, I mean...
He has a lot of money, though. Yeah. I would assume. I think Steve has a lot of money.
He has to have good royalties, right?
He should.
I mean, all his kids are adults now, so it's not like he's
Let's speculate. What's wrong with Steve?
Like, I mean, I think...
Is his era over?
Nah. Because I think that he was already going away from comedy and he was trying to get any type of TV money where, you know, a lot of people are like him, Ryan Seacrest, they're trying to get that host money.
Yeah.
You know, so you want to be Dick Clark for the next 50 years.
Yes.
You know, so, I guess after fumbling beauty pageants and so on and so forth, I guess maybe you're done.
I think
go sit your caterpillar mustache down.
The speculation is because he moved production companies apparently, and that's why they end up moving from Chicago to L.A. People saying that he didn't take the Chicago people with him, so it was like Steve's business is like only thinking about himself. Yeah. And then you hear the juicy, salacious gossip with his wife. So they were saying that they're getting a divorce, but her ex-husband is supposed to be writing a tell-all. Her ex-husband is apparently was a big-time drug dealer who did like 20 years in jail.
Oh, that's always nice.
And so he's writing a tell-all, and he's like, yeah, this bitch was involved, you know. Oh, okay. She's my cookie. She's my cookie to my Lucius. So it's just not. It's been a bad month for Steve.
Don't worry. I mean, he'll be on wife number 4 soon.
Listen. Just open up for Monique.
Yeah.
Right. Monique's doing good. That's the interesting turn. They can
co-headline, can't they?
They should. See? Nah, Monique could be like, you open it up for me.
You not that.
That's an interesting turn of events. Monique doing good. Steve lost all his jobs. All right. This week in racism. Mm-hmm. Another one of those topics that we do. This was really like crazy. This was crazy. Yes. This was crazy when you sent it to me.
Yes. Yes.
Wait, where's that? That's on Facebook. Can you pull that one up?
Let me see if I can.
While I speak about it real quick.
Please do.
So, this week in racism. Lawyering while black. So, what state was this?
This was, I want to say it was Cleveland, maybe? Let me see, no.
Okay, he's going to pull up what state. So, the lawyer is in the courtroom. He's in the courtroom, and the bailiff or the deputy,
the sheriff's
deputy, Maryland, assumes that the black lawyer has to be.
He's not the lawyer.
He's not the lawyer. He's faking it. He's faking it. He's faking it with that fake briefcase.
Yeah. How is you a lawyer?
How is you a lawyer?
We don't do that here.
He was convinced that he was the actual criminal. Now, the person that he was representing was not in the courtroom. Right. That's what the article says. That he wasn't in the courtroom. He is a black guy also, though. Yes. So that's all he needed. There's no way you could be the lawyer. Puts him in handcuffs. Yep. Handcuffs him. Handcuffs the lawyer. This is the problem. Lawyering while black. So we have a society that tells you, go do the right thing.
Yes.
Go to school. Get a respectable job.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't in t-shirts and jeans in the courtroom. He was probably suited and booted.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Looking sharp.
He coming, looking sharp. And he got the guy off. He got the
guy off, but he got in.
He got in.
I got you off, but you're gonna have to come bail me out.
So at least he can represent himself. But you do the right thing, and you still get looked at as if you're a criminal. But the irony is that this guy, the sheriff deputy, who basically has no skills to get that job. No need for schooling to get the job.
Yes.
No high level of articulation. No understanding or reading of people because he read this situation wrong.
Right. Maybe that's the problem.
And the lawyer, who had to go to school for a number of years, passed an intense examination.
Yes.
And you think you know him. He's got to be the criminal.
Oh, it's me.
Lawyering while black. What was his name? It's locked. But lawyering while black in Maryland, this is the sad state of affairs that we are in our society, that people are assuming who individuals are based off of what they have a preconceived notion of. This is what this person looks like. This is what a criminal looks like. I don't care how many black criminals or black defendants come through that courtroom. Not every black person that comes through that courtroom is going to be a criminal. Not everyone.
Excuse me, Your Honor. This is Rashad James. I'm representing. Where's the handcuffs coming from? I'm sorry, sir. I don't understand.
Pretending. He was pretending. What was the this is my whole thing. Everything is documented.
Right.
Like they know who's representing.
Right.
Generally know who's representing you. Like everything, and there's a bar card and everything. Like everything is documented. Mm-hmm. I mean, did he not have his bar card? Because I thought you need your bar card.
Well,
like,
yeah. Don't know. I mean,
lawyering while black.
Yep. See, now I'm taking being a lawyer off my list of things to do.
Oh, you thought you were safe?
I thought I was safe there too.
Racism continues in the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen.
The world we live in.
All right. Okay. So, another beautiful video you sent me is going around the internet for our section Killing with Kindness.
Yes.
This was on America's Got Talent.
Yes.
No more Nick Cannon. We got Terry Crews now.
Oh,
Gabrielle Union is on the list now.
Really?
Yeah, Gabrielle Union is a judge.
Okay.
Cool. We got 2 black people.
I'll take it.
So it starts out with this autistic kid. We find out he's autistic.
Right. And
the lady is saying, this saved his life, this, that, and the third. This music. He sits down on that piano.
Yes. Yes.
And sings and plays the hell out of Donny Hathaway.
Yes, he does.
I did not expect Donny Hathaway to come out of him. Listen, if you're watching us on YouTube, go to our Instagram. If you're watching us on Instagram, we're going to post all these videos up. We're going to post a link to the Shade Room. Everything's going to be up there, including this. You've got to watch this video. This kid is amazing. America's Got Talent. If he doesn't win...
Yeah, I don't think that I've seen a reaction from as many people as I've seen from this video. The kid is nothing short of amazing.
Yes.
And to see how playful and joyful he was.
Yeah.
And then to get instantly serious and play the hell out that. Mm-hmm. I was sitting there like, oh wow.
I think this opens up the door just like to the idea of like autism and Asperger's and people with special needs and understanding the value of all of these individuals, because a lot of people who have Asperger's and autism, they have extreme talents in other places.
Right.
And it's like we as people, we're looking and we have a preconceived idea of intelligence, of high intelligence. But we're looking in the wrong direction with a lot of these individuals, because a lot of them have talents, they have abilities that's beyond what we can comprehend as long as we open that door. You know what I mean? So it's just like making sure that it just begs the question, because we just had that whole thing about possibly them slashing the Special Olympics budget and that special education. We need to be investing in these things because we don't know what's going to come from it. Because if all that comes from it is this kid making some beautiful music, I'm down.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Right.
Pour it into him.
We're so focused on the ability to interact or be quote unquote normal in society that we miss out on the gems that are out there.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that goes for anybody. It's tough to have kids in school who don't excel at the teacher-child method of teaching currently and can
sitting
excel
at a desk.
Yeah, it's too difficult, and to not try other things or see what works for different people, and to just see where someone can greatly excel. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, but that's the society we live in. I mean, we're in the back 20s of education, so I mean, it's not going to change anytime soon. We'll be cool. We'll be alright.
Well, let's fix it. All right.
Where are we at?
Main event.
The main event.
All right. So we've been actually waiting to see this movie.
Yes.
The trailers were out.
Yes.
They've sent little clips out of Keanu training.
Yes.
Then there was clips of Halle Berry training.
Wick training, and then it starts. And then they're like, oh, this is John Wick training. And when Halle said she wanted to do that, Chad said, here you go. And Halle said, thank you, sir. Can I please have some more?
And it was just nothing but excitement.
Yes.
Then when you see the trailer and they was on the motorcycle with swords, was like
amazing.
Yeah, this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
This is where I want to be. John Wick 3.
Yes. Ooh, Parabellum.
Let's start with John Wick 1.
Yes.
It was a surpriser.
Yes.
You had no idea that Keanu was going to be this great.
Yep.
And the movie was going to be this great. It was just great action.
Yep.
They set up a story. They created a world. They alluded to a world.
Yes.
And we were satisfied. Did so well, they were like, let's do a second one. They expanded on the world, showed us more about the world, and just pulled us in.
Right.
Increased the action level.
Yes, they did.
Satisfied.
Yes.
Full. Belly
Yep.
full. So, now we're anticipating, because we have 2 great movies.
Yep.
So we're like, 3, you better come with it.
It's going to be a tough one.
It's going to be a tough one.
Yep.
Seeing Halle Berry was in it, it's like, okay, they're going to bring a pretty face. Cool, because it was different from 2. We had the androgynous shorty,
Right.
which was cool. Okay, we don't know what kind of character Halle Berry's going to be.
Right.
Sat down in that theater. Not one moment of disappointment.
No, not at all.
John Wick 3, starring Keanu Reeves,
Yes.
Halle Berry. First thoughts?
Oh, man. I think that they kept to the model.
Yes.
All right, we're going to write a good story. We're going to expand this world. We're not going to be redundant, which is what I feel most action movies do.
Redundant.
We're not going to do the same thing that we did. There's going to be a story arc for each character.
Yes.
It's not just about John Wick. It's about things in John Wick's world. That
Yes.
It's like, if you think about from John Wick 1 to John Wick 3, it's just like, all right, he's slow, like, he's not in this world and now he's going back to it.
Yeah.
And the more that they expand on it, the more that we're getting involved.
Yes.
And just like, oh, all right.
What's the timetable?
So during this whole time, this has, because the part 3 comes right after.
Right after 2?
Yeah, literally where 2 ends is where it begins. Within the first 10 minutes, you're in the first hour
Yes.
after part 2. So this literally has to take place over what, the time of maybe 2 to 3 weeks, maybe.
Maybe.
Like that
It
may
might
be
be
too
shorter.
long. Yeah, that may be too long. But yeah, I mean, so for people who don't know, these are actually the stunt coordinators of The Matrix.
Yes.
Who are writing and directing. And the idea is, all right, well, we have a story. And
Yes.
we're going to make the story good. But within this, we will build John Wick.
Yes.
Keanu Reeves' character. So, and basically the whole part 1, the first 20 minutes, all you're getting are these stories of who John Wick is to
Yes.
this society.
Mhm.
And he's not in it yet anymore.
Yeah.
And now being pulled back in, it's amazing. If you really think about story arcs and the way that they did it, it is very comic book like.
Yes. But it's perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
It's because it's like John Wick could easily be ridiculous,
Yes.
but it's not.
Right.
It straddles that fence of ridiculous and believable
Right.
all at the same time.
Exactly. Like he's this mythological guy
Yes.
that now that he's back, people are just like, oh, maybe it's the different John Wick because he hasn't been in the game, and everybody wants to test him, and just like everything else, oh, everybody's confident in themselves, and this whole new world of weapons, fighting. talent, and we kind of start to see, especially with this one, we kind of see his background and where he's from, because you find out that he's from Eastern Europe.
We didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly. That's something we didn't know. And how he started working through all these houses, all these organizations, and the rules, the regulations that they all have to follow. So it's kind
of the consequences of his actions in the first one.
Exactly. So it's kind of like now you're kind of seeing what it took for him to get out and how difficult it was, and his willingness to go back in it.
Yeah.
And now he has to navigate through this world that he hasn't been in for a while.
Yeah.
Find out who his allies are and who they aren't. It's really good, simple writing, and it just
I have to read
opens the world
because it's simple, but people have messed that up. Like Shoot 'Em Up. You remember the movie Shoot 'Em Up?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be what John Wick has done,
right.
But they didn't get it right.
No, not at all.
They didn't get it right. John Wick doesn't try to do too many things,
right?
But it establishes the mythology. You understand? It establishes the world, but the world is established more visually than it is through words,
right?
Because now we see like, wow, oh, the hotel, okay.
Yeah, it's wild because you're kind of looking and you're like, oh well, it's sort of like I said, it's comic book like, but it's also sort of video game like because you're kind of getting these rules and regulations, and you're just like, oh well, you can't kill anybody on whatever the grounds are. So it's like, all right, well he's here now, so he's kind of safe. Yeah, but. Is he safe?
It's like when we used to be kids. What was that? What's that game we used to play?
Freestyle or
Freestyle? Yeah,
definitely. And it's just good to see that, like, all right, well, he's got these different things going for him. And if anybody watches the NBA, he fights. What's his name? Anyways, he fights probably the tallest guy in the NBA. He's actually fighting.
I wanted to know where he was from, first of all. And he was actually really good.
Yeah, very athletic.
It was like really believable.
He's 7'7", I want to say.
Okay. Yeah. So, here, all right. Deep movie dive for a second.
Yes.
Last scene. Is that an homage to Bruce Lee? Is the whole movie almost an homage to Bruce Lee? So... The super tall NBA guy remind me of the Bruce Lee movie when he fights Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kiss of Death.
Is it Kiss of Death?
Where I think where he fights Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Fights Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but the end scene of John Wick, he goes up the levels. You remember the stairs? And in that movie with Bruce Lee, Game of Death, he goes up the different levels. I'm pretty sure those guys were doing an homage.
I like it. I didn't even think about that.
Even if they weren't, I'm going with it.
All right. I'm with it.
I'm going with it.
Okay. I see you out here.
But stylistically, it's one of the most beautiful films.
Yeah.
Who's doing the coloring? Because they're amazing.
I want to know who's doing the visuals in general. Who's just like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna use these angles, and we're gonna make sure that the lighting, the mirror, the reflections. Yes. All right,
and you don't miss the action.
Right, not at all.
It's coming from the perspective of people who love action films. Not people who want to make action films. This is from the perspective of a person who loves action. They love the movement, body. They love martial arts. Mm-hmm. Because like I'm literally seeing tons of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu moves. Not just regular throws. Right. We're seeing the throws, the counters. We're seeing everything.
So many different styles of martial arts. It's crazy because, I mean, if you're fighting, you're kind of trying to use every single form that can benefit you. And I mean, we also had the Iron Chef in there, right? His character.
I never remember his name, but when I got home, I'm like, babe, that's the Iron Chef. Like, that's where I know him from. I'm like, well, I mean, he is an accomplished. Like, he's done before Iron Chef. Yeah, that's why he got Iron Chef.
Martial arts.
Yes.
Did you see Only the Strong? He was in Only the Strong. Right? Yeah.
The Capoeira one. Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Did I tell you he's in like one of my favorite foreign films also? The one about werewolves. I can't remember. I don't know. But he doesn't have a speaking line because he can't speak French, but it's cool.
His performance in this was good too.
He's good.
I didn't expect him to be the comedy.
Yeah, it was like that's the thing that I like is just like they give you everything.
Everything.
I mean, like And granted, maybe there's some romance there, but that's probably like the only thing that is really lacking on a hardcore level. But it's building that John Wick.
Yes.
Like, this is for my wife.
Yes.
You know, it's not like, oh, my wife is dead.
No.
And now I'm doing this survival thing because this is who I really am at the end of the day. So I kind of like it. Good storyline.
From a script writing perspective,
yes.
When you learn about script writing, you learn how people use devices like time. You see that all over in John Wick because they're setting it up from the beginning. He doesn't have time. Right. We know that if he gets to this place, he's a little bit safer. Right. If he gets to this place, he's a little bit safer. He's always running against the clock. So they use those devices perfectly, constantly. And it just keeps happening. It keeps happening. We know he needs time. He doesn't have it. He needs guns. He doesn't have it. Where is he going to get the next gun? So that's running through your head. You're. It's almost like it's like a game because you're John. Right. You're nobody else. Right. There's no other character you can be in this movie.
There's the only person you're rooting for.
The only person you're rooting for. Right. Which is a killing. He's an assassin. Right. But the only person you're rooting for is John, and that's who you are. And you're running against the clock. You're trying to survive. Right.
I like the fact that they use real logic to write. So they're answering questions in which you would kind of have, and then you're just like, all right, I was gonna say, like, all right. So you're just like thinking, oh, this is John Wick, like nobody's gonna contest him, and then they're just like, oh, well, that's why it's this much money for your head, because this motivates people.
This motivates them to.
So really... it's just like, even if someone thinks that they're gonna lose, but when you say 14 million, so then you're thinking like, damn, if 14 million, then what would be?
It's a lot of money, John.
Right, exactly. So you're thinking like, oh, so. Maybe this isn't.
And they know who he is.
Right, exactly. You're just like, oh, so obviously Iron Chef's goal is like, man, this is John Wick. Like, okay, we're gonna have this. Back to the Bruce Lee homage. We're gonna have this Bruce Lee Chuck Norris. I'm gonna give you the 5 minutes to get ready.
This is the battle.
Everybody respects him because you see when he fights the two guys. They let him get up,
that was
and they're
so good.
And he's just like, all right, I'm all, and he lets them live at the end, and it's just like, he's been killing people the entire time, but because they had respect and he had respect, you're just like, that's what's up.
It's so good.
Yeah, definitely. So I definitely liked how they developed the storyline, and like I said, maybe they should redo the Matrix instead of...
I'll give them any action franchise.
All right. Well,
any action franchise.
Well, you already heard that they're they're redoing, they're continuing the Matrix. It may not be the story of Neo, but it'll be the future storyline.
See, now the thing is, once you start the only dangerous part, once you start doing sci-fi, like once you start doing metaphysical sci-fi type of stuff, futuristic stuff, it's a little harder. Right. But if anybody I trust, it's them, or was it Denis Villeneuve?
Yes.
I let him touch anything sci-fi now.
But I think that's why the fight scenes from the first Matrix were so amazing. I mean, even if you think about the Matrix 2 and 3, nobody complained about the fight scenes. Mm-mm. You know, even the CGI 15-minute fight with Agent Smith, you're thinking like, all right, at least the fight scenes were great. Yes. So now you're thinking, all right, well, if they could make the story simple where everybody follows and it's not everybody complained about the philosophy of part 2 and part 3, but if you think about like, all right, well, if we're just going to make it simple so that everybody understands and everybody can follow it, just like John Wick, like, why wouldn't you?
They single-handedly are bringing back American action. Right. Because it was gone. Right. It was gone. We haven't even made a new action hero. Who's the new action hero? Chadwick Boseman? Is that? I mean, who's the new action hero? Yeah. The Rock?
I don't know if I sent you where they were doing. They were talking about the cinematography of action movies now and how John Wick had actually changed it back where they were doing like these multiple angles, repetitive, and it's like John Wick they're doing the John Wick where we're giving you an angle where it's from beginning to end, and the choreography is giving that to you.
Yeah.
It's not we're gonna give you 6 shots of the same thing happening back to back so that you can kind of have that action. No, we're gonna give you the real action. We're gonna have it choreographed properly.
Yes.
We're gonna have the proper angle so that you can see it in full. And I mean, I kind of told you this with the whole Black Panther thing. Like, it's tough when it's either too close or it's too choppy with the action sequences. Where when you have the proper angle and you can see everything happening, it's so choreographed where it's like, wow, like
that scene. Now that I think about it, like if those choreographers would have done that scene when they were in the casino,
right?
Because they almost tried to do it, but they moved the camera so much. Like it had the great boom, 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 boom. I love that, but they moved it too much. And it's like, I want the action. I want the chase scenes. That's what when you're going to see an action movie, that's what you're looking for. And those guys, they perfected it.
Right.
Best action sequence.
Out of all the movies? Out of all three?
No, just this one.
All right. Best action sequence. Gosh. All right, give me a minute.
Yeah.
We'll talk, and I'm gonna think about
it's for me.
Which one do you think?
Casablanca is fucking amazing. Okay. Halle Berry killed it for me.
To fight one like Keanu, and I had to learn to fight with him in very close proximity. They're very much a team. This is just hard as shit, but it's also a lot of fun, and I have a great team of people that are teaching me and training me.
Yes.
She's so good. Like, I didn't imagine her being this good.
Right. At this age, too.
No.
Both of them.
No.
They're both in their 50s.
It don't make sense.
Yeah.
It don't make sense.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what it makes me feel like. If Halle Berry's is good, how many movies it actually should have been Halle Berry?
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. How many action opportunities should it have been Halle Berry taking on that role? You know what I mean? Like, they give it to a lot of people. Should Lara Croft have been Halle Berry? You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And you're kind of thinking that, like, now...
Underworld, could that have been Halle Berry?
Right. And now you're watching and you're just like, there's too many scenes where you're watching the people and you're like, that couldn't be a stuff.
Blade reboot, Halle Berry.
Okay. Let me call Wesley.
Why not?
Let me call Grandmaster Wesley Snipes.
Listen.
You know? As long as he's paying his taxes, we good.
Is John Wick the best action film made in 10 years? The last 10.
The last 10 years. What are we? All right. So 2009 and up.
Yeah.
The first John Wick is easily the best movie in the last 10 years. Action movie.
It is.
Yeah. Easily.
And that's included from 2009. We got Mission Impossibles. We got great Mission Impossibles.
Yes. The last Mission Impossible was the best. If you didn't hear it, go check the review.
Wait, hold on. Better than 1 and 2?
Yeah. Man. But, and I already told you, my favorite one is
I don't know if it's better than
Ghost
1.
Protocol.
I don't know if it's better
It's
than
easily
1.
better than 1, yeah. Easily.
1 is the originator.
One is great. And I'll tell you right now, 1 is great because the story's so great.
Yes. Action is not the same.
The action is not the same.
No.
But I feel like especially this one, what they've done great is that they've made it more real. So like you just everything that you think a spy could do, he's doing it. He's doing it.
Here's my prediction.
Go ahead.
If you wanna bring one more Mission Impossible, if they do the next one, I love this guy, whatever his name is, McGurthy, whatever. He's fantastic. Change the writer director.
Yes.
Christopher Nolan and his brother.
Ooh. Okay.
And that will be the best Mission Impossible.
Okay.
If they just gave it to them. So now you have the people who did The Person of Interest. You have the people who did Dark Knight. If you give them the Mission Impossible franchise, they take it to the next level.
Yeah.
That's it.
Does Christopher Nolan want to get back into action though? See,
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I hope so. Because just think about
Dunkirk wasn't all that.
think about Dark Knight and Inception.
Ooh, okay.
And then you put Tom Cruise with that type of mind, with people who because that's the reason why the last one was so. It's great set pieces.
Yeah, definitely.
The helicopter. It's great stuff in there.
You have to have great storyline.
Yes. The bathroom scene.
Yeah, the bathroom scene.
Superman. He was. What's his name? He's so good in it.
Henry Cavill.
Yes, Henry Cavill.
So this is my thing. My favorite heroes have weaknesses.
Yes.
You have to be able to get beat up.
Yes.
And it has to be real.
Yes.
So
that's what makes John Wick great.
Right. It's just like he's not out here just like invincible.
Yes.
He's doing the most.
Yes.
Like he
Daniel
is
Craig's
doing
James Bond.
Yeah. Skyfall's my favorite.
Skyfall is brilliant.
So I don't think that was I think that was 07. But it's definitely in my top 5.
I mean, but
movies.
see, the thing is, I gotta be honest. I don't think you have the look of John Wick without Skyfall.
Right.
Because I think Skyfall introduced okay, we're gonna make this super creative.
Right.
Like the coloring in Skyfall is crazy.
Yeah, the cinematography is.
It's crazy. I like Spectre too, but Skyfall is amazing.
So, and like I said, I like my heroes having weaknesses.
Yeah.
Skyfall's the first Bond movie where he's drunk. He's off. His aim is off. Like he's old,
almost dying
every
every time.
And it's just like, all right, well now can he take on whoever's going against him? Like it's just like now this is when you start second guessing the odds.
Yeah.
That's when it's just like your hero's at his best.
Yes.
And that's why it's just like, all right, well, John Wick 1, you're just like, oh, you're just finding out about John. Part 2, he's doing this single mission to do whatever, and now part 3, where you're just like your hero, you're debating the odds. Your hero has the entire organization against him.
Yes.
Can he survive?
That's the key to action movies. I can't believe the whole movie that you're going to win.
Right.
If you can make the viewer who came to watch the superhero, so ostensibly we're watching the superhero when we watch the James Bond movie.
Right.
But at some point during the movie, you're like, how is he? What
else
is he
can
going
he
to
do?
do?
Right.
What else can he
How
do?
can he survive this?
How? Right. How can John Wick get hit by these 2 cars? What is he going to do next?
Right.
What is he going to do? And if you can't do that, then the movie does not work.
And then that's why I kind of told you about how I felt about John McClane. The reason why people fell in love with John McClane is he's a regular guy.
Regular guy.
2 is the first movie, he's bleeding from his foot.
Yeah,
he's
glass.
You're just like, and then you're watching Die Hard for anybody who doesn't know. But in Die Hard, you're just like, yo, like this guy just defying the odds.
Yes.
Like this is what he's doing.
Yes.
And that's the point where you're just like, oh, this is it. He can't do anything else.
No.
And he survives, And it's not, he's overly matching everybody else. It's one step at a time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty amazing.
But I do have my part with the later Die Hards, especially Live Free, Die Hard. It was just too much.
Live Free, Die Hard
It was like the same people that did Fast and the Furious. It's like it was too much.
So my big thing, especially Fast and the Furious and Live Free or Die Hard, because Live Free or Die Hard is one of my favorites, but the last 10 minutes is like, all right, you went too far.
Too much.
Like, there's no way. It's impossible. But when, especially like, it's just like, oh, what else can we do? Like, and they're just at that point reaching, like that's the point where it's just like, you lost me.
3 is my favorite.
Oh.
Because they introduced the idea of the puzzle and the riddle.
Yeah.
The riddle. That's the great device. That's the Dan Brown situation. That's why I like the Da Vinci Code. Because I feel like I'm on an adventure.
It wasn't Jesus.
I feel like I'm on. I feel like I'm on this adventure. See, that's the thing is, these films have to set up the world. We know what is the adventure. John Wick is against time. Everybody's trying to kill him. He doesn't know who's his friends. What break is he going to get? The first break was in this movie was the doctor. All these little small things. His relationships. John McClane just a strappy dude. But you know what? He got this taxi driver, and he's actually pretty intelligent, and they're tearing up the town, and they have to figure this shit out. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like it's setting you on this adventure. We're on this road, chugging along. Indiana Jones might have set all that in tone, in the way that these action films work. But it's just like John Wick has hit it, because literally one of my favorite action films ever is Terminator 2. And Terminator 2, because of the chase scenes, specifically when he's on the motorcycle and the dude is in the big rig. Love it. Yeah. Love it.
Did you see the previews for the new Terminator?
I'm actually a little bit excited.
Okay, cool.
I'm a little bit excited. for the main reason is because she's back.
Right, exactly.
I'm glad to see her.
I want to see what it's going to be like.
James Cameron is involved in this.
He's just producing though, right? He's
I think he's just producing.
He was like, I can't be in the same room with her.
But I'm pretty sure he's a part of the story. Mm-hmm. Very excited for that. I'm actually excited for the Hobbs movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like.
It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. But I love Idris.
I love Idris. I like The Rock too.
I like The
and
Rock.
I like Jason Statham.
Yeah.
Transporter. Transporter is a pretty good action film.
Yeah. First one.
Yeah.
The next couple were.
No.
You know.
The first one's good.
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, since we spoke about all that, the only one we didn't speak about was Bourne.
Okay, so that's the debate.
Okay.
That is the debate. Is John Wick the best action trilogy? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hear action trilogy. And listen, if you're watching us right now, comment down below. Do you think John Wick is the best action trilogy? Hit the comments on iTunes podcast. Do you think John Wick is the best action trilogy? We're going to talk about it now. Go.
Alrighty, so I have John Wick at the top, I believe.
Uh-huh.
I think I have Bourne as a close second. And I think I may have Die Hard number 3, right? I think that's...
Yeah, but what if I slide Daniel Craig's James Bond?
Okay, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall,
Casino Royale,
first
Inspector.
Oh, man.
Well, that's 4, but...
That's 4, but...
3 or more. It's 3 or more. Because right now,
right,
John Wick is probably going to end up being a 4th.
So the crazy part is the other thing
Taken is in
yeah.
It's better than Taken.
It's way better than Taken. But the crazy part about Daniel Craig's James Bond is it's the first Bond movies that were connected ever.
Oh, okay.
They've never had a movie that
that
went into the next movie.
Story
no matter who the character was, never did it. So I like the fact that they were willing to branch out and do something different. Ooh,
you got to put it up against the Batman series. That's the only superhero series I really. Batman series.
All right, Batman's up there also.
Batman's up there. But see, the thing is, this is why I could say it's better than Batman series, because it's the Dark Knight that makes that whole trilogy the big because the third one was good, but it just Dark Knight is the one out of the 3. The first one, yes, because it set the whole idea of the world. Now it began the story for us.
Right. Is the Batman trilogy, like, I always look at the sequence. Is the Batman trilogy the first trilogy in which the middle movie is the best movie?
Yeah, I think it's got to be, because it's normally the first movie.
Yeah.
That's the best.
And then, I mean, Daniel Craig's James Bond is the last movie.
No, well, Spectre came out. Skyfall.
Well, first, I'm not even thinking about Spectre. I'm just
it's the third movie in that 4.
Yeah. Mission Impossible. I think the third movie is the worst movie out of all of them.
The worst.
Yeah, the absolute worst. And
it has Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, man. I think that they tried to make it too, like, oh, he's this mental criminal, and I was just like, kind of didn't work out as well.
It didn't work out at all.
I don't know, but John Wick, the first movie's the best. The second one is really good.
You think the first movie's the best?
Yeah,
still?
I think so. I think the third one is very close. I just think that the
I
first
don't
one.
know. I think.
You think the third one is the
Well,
best?
you know what? The probably I've probably seen 2 more than I've seen 1.
Oh, so you think 2 is better?
I think 2 might be better.
Nah, man.
2 is amazing.
I think 2 is really good. I think number 1 is the best easily.
2 is amazing. You know what it is? Also, I remember. Yes, that is 2. 2 is the scene where they're sitting in the museum. They got that big picture behind that. They do. Literally, I feel like these guys make the movie for me.
Yeah.
Because this is exactly like all the paintings. And
That's all me right there.
that's all. It's
Thank
like
you,
literally.
guys.
This is exactly like I'm like, yo, this museum is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like whoever's designing the set pieces is just amazing. Okay, this is what John Wick made me think. We'll go back to the best trilogy. We need an Oscar category for a movie like John Wick to be able to win.
I'm trying to think.
We need a category for it. They've got to make. They don't have an action category.
Nah, they don't. I don't think we've had that since like the MTV Awards or something.
You're right. It's only the MTV. You get the popcorn. But the Oscars need an action category.
Or like our original action screenplay or something.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
It's it's such an ensemble of things that have to.
That's true.
Has to go into.
Stunt coordination.
Yeah. Those dudes need recognition. You know. Gosh.
Please.
Yeah. Come on.
Oh, okay. All right.
What
are we doing? We're Wilder. Oh, but that's not a trilogy.
What?
Kill Bill. Not a trilogy.
It's only 2.
Only 2. That saves it.
Yeah.
Because it might have slid. And that's
well, because they supposedly Quentin Tarantino was thinking about doing a Kill Bill 3.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not happening, and he's supposedly on his last film now. So,
I
think that's a lie.
Okay.
So, I think he's what 50 something.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna write direct anything else.
He's weird enough to stop and just like write books about it.
Nah, man. Nah.
Kill
I'm not
Bill's
gonna say
fucking
that.
amazing.
Did you watch the previews to whatever? I can't even remember.
The Chadwick Boseman movie?
No, the movie with this Quentin Tarantino movie with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio and Margaret Robbie, and it looks really good.
It's a Quentin Tarantino movie?
Yeah, this is the one.
Okay, so I gotta look at it.
Hey,
Damn.
man, you slipping.
I am slipping, dog. I'm slipping. Alright, so is there a better trilogy?
All right, minus the sci-fi's like Star Wars and I don't know Back to the Future, all those. I don't know. As
You
far
could
as
throw Star Wars in.
Nah,
That's too many movies.
yeah, no, that's
Aliens, you could throw Aliens in there.
yeah, maybe.
I love Aliens.
Which
Too.
one you
That's
like the
the
best
second
out of the Aliens?
The second one, Aliens.
I don't know. I'm weird, and maybe because I was a kid.
You like the first one?
No, I liked Aliens 3.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it's the best one. It's just that it's.
Which one
it's
are
the
they in the
Which one?
the
are they
jail?
in now?
The jail. That's 4, right?
Yeah. What is that? The one with Winona Ryder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trash.
Yeah, definitely. I was just gonna say Alien versus Predator with Sanaa Lathan.
Trash. How did you like Prometheus?
I liked it.
All right. Did you like this second one? Whatever. I can't even remember what this.
This is a continuation of Prometheus.
Yeah, whichever one this movie came.
Oh
out.
no, I didn't see this one.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I'm slow.
Uh,
Oh wait, you could throw Predator in there.
I'm getting too old. That Predator 2.
I love Danny Glover. It's
I'm
like
too old for this shit.
I wish I was old enough to have seen it in the theater.
Yeah.
That's how much I actually love that one.
Okay.
That's like one of those late night HBO.
Yeah.
It's a very different film from all the Predators.
Yeah.
Like it takes place in the city. Like, it's like
Yeah, it does. I mean, I don't know.
they went far. They were like, what if we had it take place in the city and we have a black cop? It's kind of ridiculous,
Yeah.
but I love it.
But it's all right. So this is my thing. Like with the whole nostalgia thing, especially with bringing things back.
Yeah.
They should have just did that with Predator, and like
They did.
even just a cameo with
yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger giving some tips as to how
Yeah,
you beat
yeah,
him
yeah.
or how he beat him. Like I feel like no one has done what he did besides.
Oh, that's the Predator I missed with Sterling K. Brown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. I'm gonna watch that this week. No,
No. I mean, it's okay.
it's better than the one with Adrian Brody.
No, I like the one with Adrian Brody.
Oh, Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
I like the one with Lawrence Fishburne too.
Lawrence Fishburne was crazy in that one. Right?
Crazy motherfucker.
Okay. You survived with a bunch of aliens and stuff.
I don't. It's John Wick is the best action trilogy.
Yeah, easily. I'm cool with it.
Action.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Do people understand action?
Yeah.
Action.
Test me.
Because it goes
I
up
dare
against
you.
the Matrix. Okay, that's why we got to discuss it. It goes up against the Matrix.
Yes.
Because right now, same lead actor, which is
yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah.
But for action wise, not innovation,
Right.
not interesting storytelling, not
right.
next level storytelling. We're talking about action. Action. It's John Wick. John Wick goes up for me against Hard Boiled.
Okay.
It goes up against Killer. It goes up against my favorite action movies, especially with guns, because that's the standard for me. John Woo, Killer, Hard Boiled.
Yeah.
Anything two gunning.
Yeah.
And they don't use two gun, and I think that's on purpose because I think they know they can't get
It's
that
not-
child
it's-
young
right.
fat boop boop boop.
Yeah.
They can't do it.
But I mean, like, if you know anybody who talks about it, it's a little bit too difficult to aim two guns at the same time.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It
It's
is.
ridiculous he was doing it. But the one thing that movie, if you link John Woo's idea of gunfights, very close range.
Right.
So even when Chow Yun Fat is shooting you,
Right.
it's not as like aiming
Yeah.
far. You kind of like it's like close quarter
Right.
combat.
And then that's why I said, like, the one reason why I love John Wick is because you can tell where the sequences are, like, this is a top level professional doing what he does
Yes.
well, you know? And you're just like, the chase scene when he has no gun.
Crazy.
Okay? So I don't have a gun, where he makes the gun to
That-
shoot one bullet.
My wife is like, he's gonna make a gun.
Oh, the fire pin don't work? Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Yo, doing that, getting chased, breaking the knives, throwing the
Oh,
knives.
the knife scene is crazy.
So, yeah.
Knife scene is crazy.
All right, so I like that whole sequence.
Then when he throws the axe at the end,
Yeah.
y'all gotta go see it. Y'all have to go see it if you like action, if you like movies. This is why theaters will stay open.
Right.
It will only stay open for event movies like John Wick.
Right.
It'll only stay open for event movies like Mission Impossible. These are the movies that need to be seen in the theaters.
Right.
Star Wars, you gotta see those things in the
Yeah.
theaters. I understand why everybody's saying, "Oh, big budget." Yes, but these are the event movies that you have to go out and see.
Right.
Because otherwise, other stuff you could just stream. You have to seeing this on the big screen is huge. It's
amazing.
important.
Yeah.
It's just an experience, and it goes by like this.
Yep.
It just goes.
There's no lag, no, it
No
doesn't slow
lag.
down. The story keeps going.
It starts with takes off.
Yeah. Like, you better buckle up. You
better
know?
buckle up.
You might as well watch John Wick 1 and 2 before you go
He
to the
needs a
theater.
ride at Disney.
Yeah. Yes. I'll take that.
The John Wick attraction?
Whoo.
That'd be crazy.
Man. I like that. All right.
Wow.
All right,
Okay.
That was a lot. Where we at?
So we have to rate John Wick.
Okay.
I think it's pretty easy.
Yeah. Give it.
John Wick, Keanu Reeves. You guys get 5 cannons. Am I speaking wrong for you?
Nah, 5.
That's a 5 cannons for the both of us.
I'll take that.
Comment down below what you giving it. How many cannons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. John Wick, you give 5 cannons. It was a great time. I was there with my wife. We both had a great time. I tried to slow clap again. It was uneventful. She slapped my hands down. I kept pushing through, and nobody wanted to join. I didn't get it.
No worry.
It was so effing good. John Wick, you got it. You got it. Alright. So like we do every week, when we watch a film, we try to explore a topic through the film.
Yes.
We're going to get a little serious. John Wick, ton of guns.
Whew.
I looked up guns after watching it. So it made me think about my 2A, concealed to carry.
Yes.
So let's talk about it real quick. How you feel about, we live in a society right now.
Yes.
There's a lot going on questioning the Second Amendment.
Oh.
School shootings,
Yes.
a lot going on. People killing themselves with guns. People feel some people shouldn't have guns. Let's have the talk. Let's talk about our Second Amendment rights.
All right, let's get heavy.
Let's
real
go.
quick. All right. All right. So one, we live in a country where the leniency to obtain a weapon
Yes.
or obtain a gun is probably the lowest out of all countries.
Yes.
It should be like getting a car. You should have to go through background checks. You should. I believe that is our biggest problem. To say that it is assault weapons or it is, and I know that people will try to come down hard on this idea, but to say that it's assault weapons, I think it's more the teaching, the safety, the people in general who
The
are
culture.
Yeah, we're still living in the Wild West.
We're still living in
That's the
Wild
other
West
thing.
mentality too.
It's just like, oh, you're trying to take my... No, I'm not. Definitely not trying to take your guns. But the same thing with cars. Like you have to upkeep a certain level.
Yes.
You know. So it's just we're not handing out guns to
But
kids.
Lewis, it shall not be infringed. It shall not be infringed.
As long as you can go read, you can keep up with everything that you're
It.
supposed. That is what I like. I don't see what the difficulty in it is, but to say, man, it's the assault part of it that is. It is no, that's not the case.
No.
And I mean I love to hear when people say that. All right, well I'm against gun violence, and we have the utmost of gun violence in schools today, so much more than we used to. No, technically we don't. According to the numbers, they're not drastically more than they used to be. Gun violence at schools account for 1% of gun violence.
Yeah, it's a small percentage.
It'd be different if you was like, all right, well, let's focus on this because this is an issue. But if you're telling me that it's gun violence, that's not how you decrease gun violence.
No, and see, and that's the thing. It's like it's a nuanced, multi-pronged approach.
Right.
Because our children are in schools, we need to work on the gun violence in schools, and that is approached a different way from gun violence as a whole.
Right.
Because gun violence as a whole looks very different from the gun violence in school. Yes. So, one thing is instead of on the back end, let's approach it on the front end. But I think it's a multi-layered approach. Hear me out. If we know there's particular types of guns that can create a certain type of carnage real easy, we can't ban them forever.
Right.
But what if there was a 5-10 year ban while we implement certain things into schools? Health, mental health, counselors. Counselors actually doing counseling. Therapy. Kids should not have to go out and do therapy. Because of public education and kids intermingling, therapy should be readily available for all kids.
Correct.
For all kids. How do we attack bullying? I think how we attack bullying actually is by putting the discipline of training your body and mind back into schools. Right. Kids should be learning to box in gym. They should be learning to do martial arts in class. Because while you're learning to do martial arts in school, and if you go through like some of the trainings, like the Gracie's training, the kids who are already might be more prone to violence or prone to bullying, they're getting that training and it's pulling them the other way to learn more self-control, how to deal with their emotions, and they have therapy. Then you have the kids who don't know how to physically protect themselves, learning to physically protect themselves. And call me radical, stop suspending kids for punching other kids in the face when they deserve to get punched in the face.
You're radical.
I'm radical. Like, see, the thing is, like, us growing up, you didn't want to get suspended, but getting suspended for a fight was not the end of the world for you.
Right.
Especially with my parents and my growing up, they knew I wasn't going to look for a fight. So if I got suspended for a fight, that was just me defending myself.
Right.
Like, kids, sometimes you have to put hands on some
Right.
people.
Mm-hmm.
I can't as an adult, so sometimes you have to put the hands on people. I'm not saying promote violence in
Right.
school, promote them fighting. But some people actually do need a physical outlet.
Right.
And that could be martial arts, that could be boxing. It's a multi-pronged approach for all these kids. These kids who are committing these violent acts, they feel worthless.
Right.
They're trying to prove their worth through creating a tragedy.
Right.
So if they feel like they're worth something, they potentially won't create their tragedy. So if we approach it at the beginning and before they get to high school is really too late.
Right.
They already started feeling worthless in 3rd and 4th grade, and it got exacerbated over time.
Right.
Whatever's happening in their life. School needs to be the domain for people. Kids don't feel comfort in school anymore.
Right. Correct.
We can't control what's happening in every household, but we can control what's happening in every school.
Correct.
As a society. I can't go into your door and tell you not to abuse your kid. But when you come in here, that kid is going to feel love and feel comforted and be fed properly and not given these horrible drugs like Ritalin and all these horrible drugs that's messing up their brain.
Right.
And their reaction to it. We don't know what the true level of this of what these drugs are actually doing, Concerta and all that stuff. So if we do that approach, then we're not looking and saying the simple of let's ban all guns.
Right.
And then we also need to look at guns and start telling people the truth. Like, dog, you think you're going to save your life if a shooter comes in.
Right.
You're probably not.
Right.
You're going to shoot somebody else. You're not John Wick.
The numbers are against you.
The numbers are against you. You'll probably never pull your gun.
Right.
Because you're going to run. And you should run.
Right.
And if you do pull your gun, you probably shoot somebody else.
Correct.
So putting more guns in the schools don't make sense.
Correct.
None of that is going to work. Should people have their guns? Absolutely.
Right.
Enjoy your shit. Now, you're talking to a New Yorker.
You can't even have...
Our life was
right.
totally different.
Right.
So it's easy for me to say, been on the side of, nobody really needs guns.
Right.
No. I understand. I go to South Carolina I went to North Carolina every summer. My grandfather had a shotgun right next to his bed.
Right.
We in a rural area.
Right.
Ain't no cops coming that fast.
Right.
If somebody tries to run up in the house, that might be the only thing to do.
Right.
Is blast them out the door.
Right.
I get it in those situations. So guns in your home is different from concealed to carry and open carry. Open carry is ridiculous.
Yeah.
For me.
It's
off
a
the
bit
table.
drastic. Yeah.
Having guns in your home, protecting your domicile,
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Right.
Concealed to carry, cool. But then we have to understand this culture of don't go looking for shit and then try to pull out on somebody.
Right.
Don't be a fearful bitch ass motherfucker and try to pull out on somebody.
Yeah.
Don't start a fight in an argument. Try to
Just
pull out
because
on
it gives
somebody.
you this confidence.
Because it gives you this confidence. Plus, I think if you're going to own a gun, you should also be in some type of physical training.
Right.
Like, it should all be encompassing. Let's push it. Let's push it. More ranges, more people training, more people learning how to use the weapon. You don't have to own it. More people learning how to use the weapon. That's safer. Because if we want to prevent people from getting killed by guns, we got to prevent kids from getting guns also.
Right.
Because they're shooting themselves in the homes.
So,
At home accidents is happening.
So let me give some numbers so that people could go and look, because I think that I feel like the Second Amendment and guns in general is a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that it's about gun violence.
Mm.
So if you talk about the amount of shootings at school, it accounts for 1% of gun violence. Like I
it's
said,
not about gun violence.
Now, I told you that media uses triggers, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I sent this to you about the last shooting, but I can tell when when a situation arises. So, like, let's say the last situation was gunman at school, shoots up school, this, that, and the other.
Yes.
When the media uses that term, that means that it wasn't an assault weapon because it was a regular gun.
Because they would have said it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that means that the assault
Columbine was handguns. I think.
handguns. So that means that the assault weapons that you would have banned wouldn't have changed the scenario.
No.
Half of all school shootings are assault weapons. So that means that you're only accounting for 0.5%.
Yeah.
Even if we got rid of all,
Yeah.
like we somehow was able to get rid of all shootings at school,
Yeah.
that's 1%.
Yeah.
Mass shootings,
Yeah.
not in schools, just mass shootings in general, they account for almost 0.75%, if I'm correct. Something along the lines of one shooting a day, let's say. It accounts for one person a day. That's 1%.
And mass shooting is like 2 or more or 3 or more.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, this is, let's say you got rid of all shootings at school, all mass shootings. Again, less than 0.5% is assault weapons.
Yeah.
But let's say you got rid of all of them. Let's say they were all, that's, at max, that's 2% of all shootings.
Yeah.
67% of all gun violence. You heard me, 67%
Suicide.
is suicide.
Yeah.
Don't tell me this is about gun violence.
They're linked.
Because if it's about gun violence and you wanted to stop gun violence, you would do your best to stop suicides.
Yes.
Anybody who attempts suicide, the success rate is somewhere between 90 and 95%.
Yeah.
Anybody who does something other than shooting is below 20% success rate.
People don't really care about people who commit suicide, though.
This is the point. The point being is that, all right, let's say that we focused on mental health.
Yeah.
You would decrease suicides.
Yeah.
You would decrease the amount of school shootings.
Absolutely.
You would decrease the amount of mass shootings. But don't say that it's about the assault weapon, because the majority of violence with assault weapons is so minimal.
Yes. You won't even see much of a difference.
If you told me that this was the idea and you just, yes, I wholeheartedly agree. All right, let's say we can't focus on mental health right now. This is the exact reason why you preach safety, you preach security.
Yes.
Because the amount of people who have guns who are just in the house without being locked or without being in a cabinet, this is the access.
Yeah.
No kid is getting this gun.
Yeah.
You know? And like I said before, it's like, oh, okay, well, we'll ban them, we'll do this, we'll do that. Okay, so you're so afraid of the criminals, because the criminals aren't getting these weapons legally.
No.
So those shootings will still happen.
Yeah, but I have my thing about when we bring like the criminal argument into it. They're not obtaining it legally, but they aren't illegal guns.
Right.
So they are like the thing is,
this is the crate that gets lost, or
I don't even think it gets lost.
So
we also want to mysticize all gun ownership as if it's noble.
Right.
All gun dealers as if it's noble.
You're right.
And they're not all noble.
It's a real big black market out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's happening from the regular channels. That guy who you think is just a regular dealer, no. He knows the movement of that Smith and Wesson and where they're gonna end up.
Right.
He doesn't care. He's getting huge amounts of cash. So
But this is the one thing that the whole safety security thing.
Yeah.
If you're a dealer and you lose any type of merch,
Yeah.
any type of merch for any reason,
Yeah.
if you're banned or you lose your license to sell for a couple months or whatever, I'm almost certain that these pieces won't go missing.
True.
This is the safety security part of it.
True.
If you have to go through a background check that lasts months.
Yeah.
And you can't just obtain a rifle from Walmart.
It won't be worth it for you.
Right. I'm so mad right now. I'm gonna just go get this rifle and I'm gonna go back. If you can't get that rifle
Not
today,
even months. Like how literally, if you think about how long does it take just in regular time for you can't even to get a driver's license, it still takes weeks.
right.
Just in regular time,
in
general.
general.
By the time that if you decide to wake up tomorrow you at least got 24 hours before you could take the test.
You have
and
to
then
register.
Got your permit.
You have to do this.
And then before you even get
that's
your
just to
test,
get the license, not to even get the car, to register the car, to do this with the car.
So all those different things, if we just looked at it properly,
right,
in that direction, this small little things. I think loose cannons can cure gun violence as a whole and drop it at least 75% tomorrow. Easily. Investment in mental health. Mm-hmm. Investment in understanding, more investment in gun safety.
Right.
Universal background checks.
Yes.
So now we've cured already most of the people who will have killed themselves. Right. Who would have killed themselves.
Yes.
We cured most of people who would have done some type of tragedy in a public place.
Right.
Then we're looking at crime in the streets.
Right.
Crime in the streets. Crime in the streets only happens because of underground industries.
Right.
You remove those underground industries, decriminalize all drugs, legalize some of them, including marijuana.
Right.
That crime drops at least 50%.
Right.
Shootings drop at least 50%. Gang violence drops at least. Most of those people will move over into actual markets, will move into actual fields if we invest in these communities that we know are high crime communities that are involved in the dealing. And that's all over. Because the ones that we think are just high crime, and then there's the ones where they sell them to the rest of the people.
Right. If
we did that, we're all safer.
Right.
What does this require? Tax dollar investment, and people don't want to do it.
Nope.
Tax dollar investment. That's the key. And when you're sitting at home and you're looking at your W-2 and you're saying, man, where's my money going? It's going to keep your ass safe. When welfare checks are being shared out, it's going to keep your ass safe. When people are getting Section 8, it's going to keep your ass safe.
Right.
Because if we ended all of that tomorrow, these people don't all just get jobs. That's not how our market works, people.
Right.
So safety and economic security are linked.
Right.
And we don't have as much safety as we would like in America. Correct. So that means we don't have as much economic security.
Right.
The more people who are in school and pursuing career goals and paths, the more people who are able to provide for their family through legitimate ways, there's no reason to sell drugs.
Correct.
Absolutely no reason to sell drugs. No gun violence there. The more people who are getting health services, and the more that we say, hey, it's okay. You feeling something or you feeling? Come talk to somebody.
Right.
We can help you. Don't worry about $1. The more people are safe.
Right.
If we want it to be safe. But there are people who are already insulated who don't care about the safety of the majority because they live in their gated communities.
Yep.
So we as people who don't live in gated communities need to realize, because we're interacting with everyone every day, when you're driving Uber, when you're on the train, when you're going to work, you need to look around and say, you know what? I want everybody around me to be emotionally secure and financially secure, because that keeps me and my family safer. And if that investment only requires just a couple more tax dollars, 1,000 more tax dollars a year, 2,000 to keep your family safe, do it.
Right.
You save on the back end.
But the other thing is, we wouldn't even have to. Like, we wouldn't have to do as much tax.
We wouldn't even have
tax dedication, because just think about how much money we provide with Department of Motor Vehicle. You still have to pay for everything.
Still have to pay for everything.
So if you had to pay for your license, your upkeep, your registration with your weapon, this is you got to go take a driver's. You had to go take a driver's class in order to go get your license. You went through the permit process. You went through this. Why wouldn't that be the same with having a weapon at the same time?
And for people who are listening right now, and if you're from Massachusetts and you're like, well, I had to do that for my weapon. That's not every state.
Right, it's true. It's not
every state does not have stringent policies like Massachusetts.
They already said most states originally you could Go to the store. You can get the weapon the same day.
That's
the
it.
Same day.
Same day.
Nah, you good. Go ahead. Okay.
Same day.
I think that people think that the liberty of being able to get your weapon the same day, like, oh, you're affecting my Second Amendment. No, I'm affecting my ability and my liberties as well.
That's right.
Your freedom to have one is affecting my freedom to be safe.
Everybody's not you.
Right.
You may consider yourself a sane, whole person.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you're going to stay sane and whole for the rest of your life either.
Exactly.
So therefore, you just put some parameters in place. Just some.
Right.
Not the same day, maybe a week.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about it, a week. If you don't have Amazon Prime, it takes you at least 3-4 days just to get a curtain.
Right.
You can't wait 3-4 days for your gap.
Right.
Just wait a little bit for the weapon.
We always talk about how it's very similar to having a driver's license, having a car. You can't go down the city block at 90 miles per hour. So
Yeah.
why would you think that it's
You
okay?
cannot.
It's okay to just have your assault rifle
Yes.
going. There's no problem. If you want it, that's cool.
Yes.
But there will be rules and regulations to it.
That's
the
it.
whole thing. Like, why?
That's it.
You buy a car, you're either going to get it towed, you're going to either get a temporary plate on it,
That's
you're going to
right.
have to do this. There's so many things that go into having a car, going into having a license, going
That's
to
right.
re-register,
Drink while you have a car. Now, it's not in the Constitution to be able to own a car, Lewis, so it's not an actual right.
No.
It's not an actual right. If only things that we could have were in the Constitution, we wouldn't have many things.
You're correct.
So, just killed that argument, sir. Because
With your handgun, I see.
these are with my John Wick gun. Because people are constantly like, this debate is very easy. The debate is very easy. I don't want your shit. I want you to be fine. You wanna hobby out with your gun? Go ahead.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
want to conceal the carry? Go ahead. But you know what? Just like everything else, let's just make sure that you can do it.
Yeah.
And I don't want no slippery slope shit. I don't want people just walking around saying that, you know what? You may, if you knew the science behind certain things, you may not want people in certain conditions having firearms.
Right.
And if we change the condition of our society, you actually won't need the firearm.
Right.
You'll just have it. It'll really just be about sport. Because the likelihood of you needing to take out your pistol to defend your life is going to be limited. So let's limit the reason for you to take out your pistol and have your pistol.
You cool with someone driving who can't see?
Absolutely not cool with, and I'm not cool with a blind person having a gun either.
I'm just saying. So
Like,
I feel like these are the things in which
and people complain about it all the time. How does this person have a license? Especially old people.
right. And I mean, this is the one reason why you continually have to go back and do these tests or do these things. Why would that not be the same with this? Is like I don't have a problem with assault weapons, and
No.
if I love it when people are just like, oh well, you don't use that to hunt. I mean, you really, most people who say that don't hunt. So what would you know what someone is using to hunt?
That's very true. That's very true.
You know?
And it's a lot of gun jargon that if you don't know the technicalities of why they call this and why they call that and what it actually limits, who knows? Who absolutely knows? Now, if we're just doing just the regular argument, does anybody need an automatic weapon?
Right.
No one needs an automatic weapon. Now,
Nobody needs a fast car either.
nobody needs a Lamborghini
Yeah,
either.
nobody does.
No, you definitely don't need a Lamborghini. But the one thing about the difference between that argument is that the Lamborghini still goes slow.
Right.
Like it goes all the way up into that.
Yeah.
The gun is a particular type of instrument. It's not a tool. It's not a tool, guys. I can't use that term because it's not a hammer.
Right.
It's a particular type of instrument that is built to destroy. It's built to destroy. And it's okay to have that because there are some situations in which you need to destroy things.
I want you to be in your right mind. I want
In
you
your
to
right
be,
mind.
I want you to be trained with safety and
Yes.
security.
That's it.
I want you to be trained to handle it.
Absolutely.
That's like my son starts driving.
Yep. Just give him the keys.
Yeah, he's cool.
Knock around.
He just got his license. No, you want the training, you want the upkeep.
Yes.
And this is the whole thing. It's like almost anything. If you're in almost any profession, there is certain things you have to do to keep certified.
Yes.
Or keep training. Like, so we don't do that with weapons. Oh well,
not?
you know, I know how to shoot a gun. I don't care if you know how to shoot a gun. I want you to continue to know how to shoot a gun. I want you to know the safety. I want to know that if we go to your house, your stuff is locked up. My son is safe. I'm safe. The family's safe. Your family's safe.
Yes.
There should be no reason why, like, this is one of the things where it's just like, oh well, everything should be locked up or everything.
Yeah.
If you feel like your house could get running at any moment, and this is the one reason why you need it, maybe your money should be going into something else. Maybe you should start figuring out how to get out of there, or do something else, or whatever the case is. But like, to think that this is your first and foremost primary weapon, and because the liberties that I have, I mean, no, there are so many ways that we can skew the liberties of people in America.
Yes.
This should not be a difficult thing.
No.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't be at all.
You know what's the scariest people, especially like people who are like, you know, I've been robbed, you know, so not me, but they say I've been robbed, so that's why I got a gun. That's the first thing you think that's going to stop the robber. First of all, what are you going to do when they rob you with a gun?
Right.
Give up your shit.
Yeah.
Because if he has the gun out already, you ain't pulling out on him fast enough.
Right.
You're not pulling out. Give him your shit.
Yep. He didn't have to practice being first. He was first.
And if he didn't have a weapon, what you should be learning is some fucking hand-to-hand combat.
Yep. You should be able
If it was a strong armed robbery,
Yeah.
you a bitch. That's it. That's all it was. That's all it was, sir. That's all it was, sir. You got punked for your shit.
You didn't learn how to block.
You don't need a gun. You don't need a gun. You need to
Krav
put on the
Maga.
glove. You need Krav Maga.
You need Krav Maga.
You need Krav Maga.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. You need to be able to choke someone.
Or run.
Yeah.
Run. You need to learn run fast.
You need to be a track star.
You need to be a track star.
Yes.
Every road does not end with a gun. And I'm scared of people who want to learn how to shoot but don't want to learn how to move their body.
Right. Everything should be about safety and security. If you're not learning how to handle this in general, you're not just hopping on a motorcycle. Like there's so many things that you would not just do without learning.
Yes.
You're not gonna when you look. Let's say you are learning how to ride a motorcycle. What's the first thing you ask? Where's the brake?
Where is the brake? How do I stop?
Yeah, how do I stop this? Just in case I lose control. Yeah. No one's going. Yo, I want to get a gun. I want to be able to shoot. No one's going like, yo, I want to make sure that like I know how to set. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. Most of the people who I know who actually have guns, like, you know how to clear a jam? Because I mean, I know how to clear a jam.
I would hope you got to.
Because this is the whole thing. It just became a heavy paperweight.
That's.
It just became a really heavy
click,
paperweight.
Click. Ain't nothing happening.
This came a ball that I got to throw at this person. You know, like.
You just made them matter because listen, if you pull out that gun and it jams, your ass is whooped now.
Oh, I'm a pistol whip him. I seen it in the movies.
Listen,
okay.
We're saying here, loose cannons. You heard it.
Yes.
We're down with the Second Amendment.
I'm cool with it.
We're gentlemen from New York City.
Right. We can't even have anything.
We can't even have it
at all.
But we're down with the Second Amendment.
Right.
But with safety and security protocols and federal legislation that makes it safe and secure for as many people as possible. It's not 100%, as many people as possible. And we want mental health in schools. We want mental health in all of our communities. So therefore, we're raising people who are more whole and less likely to commit crimes. We want economic justice for communities, so therefore there's less crimes. We want to decriminalize drugs because we want to take it out of the underworld so that there's no reason for turf wars.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we make our society safer.
I'm with it.
And then when you have your gun, you just chilling.
Oh,
Now you can go John Wick out in the woods.
Yeah.
Cause I'm down with that.
Yeah.
I looked it up. I looked up the 9/11. I'm in it.
Yeah.
I'm in it. I'm in it. I've never shot a gun.
No.
But I'm down.
Okay.
We gotta go to the range.
We should go do that. That's what. Yeah.
Let's go to the range.
I've been looking at a couple ranges. So
okay.
I'm
because I'm with it. I'm with it. I want to learn. Just like with like you said with the motorcycle. I want to learn because this is my number one theory, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I had to save my life and the gun was right in front of me, would I be able to get?
Hold on a second. Hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if I had to get to my family and there was no cars around, but there was a Ducati right in front of me,
would you be able to get on the bike?
Because you can't fumble on a Ducati.
Right. You cannot, sir.
You better off just running because
you're gonna have that whiskey throttle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like learning how to use these utensils, and I'm a man. Right. I do see the allure between blasting some shit into some shit like.
But this is all right. So weird scenario. But this is everyone in Israel's got to do their time.
Military training. Yeah.
You're gonna get all that safety, security.
Yeah.
People learn how to use a weapon, but they're not like, all right, now I'm just gonna go blast people. Like
that's not happening.
It's the same thing with when you're learning martial arts. They're telling you, like, we're not teaching. You're not learning this to fight. You're learning this for the control, the respect. You're learning the whole thing. Why is that not the same?
You don't panic when you start to learn martial arts. When you're in it, you don't panic. First of all, the fear aspect goes away because, especially with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you've been in a choking scenario.
Right.
So you've kind of been into some edge of the confrontation. You felt all the things your body feels when you're like,
that anxiety.
That anxiety.
Yeah.
Now I'm not scared. I've fought. I've been punched in the face.
I've got to be patient.
I know I don't die.
Right.
So I'm not as scared of the confrontation.
Right.
And I'm not as scared to walk away from the confrontation.
Right.
Because I'm like, I break this motherfucker apart.
Right.
You got it, sir. You're right. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I cut you off. Whatever.
Right.
Oh, this your place in line? You got it. I don't have to prove myself.
Right.
Because I got it. I'm going to go train. That's it.
There's no competition. There's no this anger. Like you're learning this self-discipline.
That's it.
And that's the one reason why like there should be so much training. Should be all this because then you're basically learning what is the capabilities.
Yeah.
And now there's foresight where it's just like, oh man, I could really mess up my life right now.
That's it.
Like, why would I do that?
Yes.
You kind of start to think where it's just like, oh, well, someone is like, let's say someone is robbing me.
Yeah.
I'm not fumbling around. I'm not getting this person who's robbing me to a point where they're gonna just shoot.
Yes.
Okay, here's my wallet. I'm reaching for my wallet. Here you go. This, that, and the other. Not like, now I need to protect myself.
Yeah. No, I don't need to put.
Yo, I lost a couple $100.
That's it.
I got my life.
You put that in perspective.
Right.
My life was worth me more than that. I'll go earn it back.
Right.
Whatever. I'll get it back somehow.
Right. And I mean, like, I'm not diminishing the psychological.
It's not the couple of $100 is not even worth me taking his life.
Right. Exactly. There's so much more to like seeing it a different perspective where it's just like, okay, well, now it's safety and there's security and there's this and there's that and it's like, well, maybe he did have mental issues.
Yes.
But now because there's mental mental health focus for me learning how to shoot. Now there's mental health focus for him learning also.
Yes.
Like it's just like it works both ways.
Yep.
You're diminishing it on both sides.
Yep.
Where it's just like it's not just your anxiety.
Yep.
It's whatever led him there.
Yes.
Like if it's caught early, the people who are down that path that resort to doing those things, maybe they're off the path as well.
That's right.
Like, people don't see it.
Man, we just dropped some gems.
Once
again, just want to let you guys know, I'm No Justin, No Peace.
And I'm Lou Rivers.
This was the Loose Cannons podcast.
Yes.
Great episode. It won't be as long for us to be back, y'all, but we appreciate you guys coming back, chilling with us, discussing with us, talking with us. We want to continue this conversation on all our social media.
Yes.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. That's Candace Podcast. YouTube. That's Candace Podcast. If you want to listen to the podcast, it's on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, all the podcast platforms. That's the Loose Candace Podcast. This was a great episode. We're signing out.
Hey.
See you guys next week. What's our next movie? Ava DuVernay joined us out. Are we doing that?
I'm down for whatever.
What
do y'all want to see?
What do y'all want to see? What's the next movie you want us to review? Hit us in the comments. Until then, we're out. Peace.